My name is Valentina Robles, and I am a freshman at NDCR. For me, I think it was just great that he involved the students when he asked people to speak and say the poems that they said. It was great because it involved us to think about what we wanted to say, how we wanted to say it, and where our mind would be and how we would write it in our own words. Yeah, and this was from before, from when I was in middle school, and he came to my old middle school, and I remember he talked about the story about a plátano and how we wrote it in a poem, and how I just thought that was really cool because he wrote about a fruit that you just can't do with like everything. You can't write just randomly about a fruit. And then I wrote about a fruit as well, and we both connected in that point, which I thought was amazing because I could finally understand what he meant. How I thought writing used to be was just write what you like. Now I know writing is a metaphor. Writing is not something to be taken literally. Because in the Bible, God speaks about how everything, he says literal things, but they have a metaphorical meaning. And that's how writing and Roberto writes, because he has everything in a meaning, and how he writes everything in a way that's powerful, not in literal form, but in metaphorical form that can hit your heart in the right way. Yeah, yes it did, because when Roberto spoke to me, from the way I understood it, he said speak however you think is right, and that's from what I understood, and I thought, and what I think that's amazing, because when you hide some things, it hurts, but when you speak those words out loud, it makes you feel confident, it makes you feel free, it just makes you feel amazing knowing that you can just speak how you like. Inspiring, because when I used to write, I used to be as like a first grader. It would just be, I like this. I went to the movies with my mom. Now today I experienced a floral and amazing scent that no one can experience. It's an example, or like I went to the movie theaters and the characters jumped out at me, or anything that just makes it feel more, how do I explain it? More becoming, more like pulling you in. And that's why it just feels amazing knowing that he inspired me to continue moving that way. And now I can use more metaphorical language the way he used it. Him remembering me, because he came to my middle school, as I mentioned before, and like I said, he even signed me a book, which was the last book. And like I mentioned earlier, how he wrote about a plátano from where he is from, and I wrote about a fruit where I was from. And I remember the poem very well. It was about it's about a fruit from my country. It's called lulo. I'm Colombiana. And outside of the lulo, it's like green. It's just boring. It looks how this. But when you open it, it's colorful and morado. Like there's purple, there's red, there's even pink, and that's what I wrote about, and that's how I used my metaphorical language that he inspired me to use. Because on the outside it looks boring, but on the inside there's color, there's flavor, just like me. I look boring on the outside, but on the inside I'm a completely different person. And he gave me the last book, and he signed it with his name, and he said, Valentina, keep writing because you're awesome at it. I still remember it, and I have the book at home. That's what I remember most, because that's now mainly the reason why I continue to write, and I have a journal, and I just write whenever I please, because it always reminds me of Roberto and what he did for me.